Are you 4?
Yeah, I'm 4.
Hey, looky there.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody, and Cat Nation.
Good morning.
So here we are.
Can we just go ahead and get this over with?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Let's just
Let's get
do
it
it.
over with.
I mean,
should
just
we tie
jump
it
right
Should we
in.
tie you down? What do we need to do
I
here?
feel like
Put
we're
a spotlight
so
on
loud.
you.
Just to,
Turn Lauren's. Don't turn her down. Turn her headphones
turn
down.
my
Not her
phone
mic.
down.
Not the microphone. Turn the headphones down. That's the knobs up there.
Up top.
I can't,
No.
oh, I got you. Oh, no wonder you thought you were
Oh my
loud.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that better?
Guys, I thought I was losing my mind. I was
Wait.
like, why is we so loud?
Let's turn mine up all the way, and that will be my penance.
That will be your penance for what happened.
So we're sitting here in the Resource Center studio by the grace of God.
Don't overplay the God card. I think we've
Because-
all had enough of that.
Shouldn't
because
we all
someone-
overplay the God card?
Someone who shall remain unnamed, but whose initials are Pastor Chris Ballard, locked the studio key. No. Thought he
Thought
locked.
I locked the
Thought he
studio
locked
key.
the studio key in here, but really just had it in his pocket, but then on his desk, and figured it out. But now he's got us in here. So the
Totally redeemed myself.
We are
Totally
here.
did it.
so we promised mocking, but he's taking it like such a good sport.
He
It's like there's
does.
all the fun's out.
I
of
know.
It.
I
There's no-
failed.
Oh.
I'm
There's
a
no-
failure.
There's no fun in it.
But God's grace is more.
That's right.
Amen.
There, but
Can we move on?
there, but for the grace of God, go I. Yeah, we can
Oh my
move on.
gosh.
Speaking of kings, did you hear what Elon Musk has his new title is? He in their recent filings with the SEC, he is now the techno king of Tesla.
Like it.
And his
He's
CFO,
CEO, yeah.
He's
the CFO, did you
deserving
see the
of that
CFO's title? The
No.
CFO's title is now Master of Coin.
That's awesome.
I think it's awesome.
We need new titles at
I
K-ROG.
kind of like that guy.
Ew, yeah, we should have imperial type titles.
My name will not be the Keymaster.
It shall not.
I am the key master.
It shall not be the
Great
key
movie,
master.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was amazing. It is still amazing.
I do have some Moranis in me, though, so feeling pretty nerdy right now.
I was doing 20-minute workout, but I did it on high speed, so it only took 10 minutes. It's a great workout.
Jeez. Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Oh, everybody under 40 just stopped tuning in, except for Lauren.
I was gonna say, wait. I am still significantly under 40.
Significantly.
Not really.
Yeah.
My
I was gonna say,
birthday's
you're,
coming up.
You're
That's-
edging up.
Yeah,
Getting
my birthday's
closer.
coming up. That's gonna shift it a little bit.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, guys, let's see. Okay, should I talk about my thing?
You're dying to.
I'm dying.
Yeah,
to.
She's
yeah.
like, I
okay.
can't hold it any longer. Let me
I
speak.
can't. Let me talk about what happened last
What
night.
happened? What is going on in this town?
A lot.
Always
And
a lot.
yes, okay. So last night was the monthly Board of Aldermen meeting at City Hall, and it had been set up to be a heated exchange, and it was a heated exchange. And I'm going to be, I'm going to talk about what happened, but I'm going to try to be very diplomatic because I respect other people's opinions in the situation. My opinion is my opinion, and I don't want to broadcast my opinion all over K-ROG because people can come talk to me individually about it, is my thought on that. But there was very heated debate because we currently have 3 people on the board. One position is not full, That election is coming up April 6th, I believe.
April 6th.
And there's 2 people running. And there has been a lot of problems.
A lot of drama.
A lot of drama.
Yeah.
About debating.
Vitriol, would you say?
Yes, of
Vitriol.
what
That makes
direction.
it sound so really
It
sophisticated.
did. I don't even know what that means. I'll have to look it up. So there's been a lot of debate about the direction the city should go. There's been issues that people feel like weren't addressed. There's been issues that people were addressed that people feel weren't really issues. It is a very complex, long-term problem that we have been, I think, trying to work through
And
in general.
common to towns all over the country.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
100%.
That is a very fair statement.
This is not.
Thank you for saying that,
This
Will.
is not new. Yeah.
No, and at the end of the day, I believe this is all stemming from people's passion and love for their community.
And I'm also glad you said that, because that was on my mind yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that I think we get so caught up in a certain narrative, we forget that everybody, not everybody, most everybody loves this town, at least on some level, and they want good for it. And sometimes we forget that we come at it from different approaches.
Perspectives.
Well, and,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I expect Rogersville to always handle themselves. This situation, like I said, is common to small towns everywhere, but I expect Rogersville to handle it better than anybody else. That's my only expectation.
Because we're the coolest.
We're the best.
We're pretty great.
So, and I think we're working through some growing pains, too.
Man, we're on the same page. That was
Golly.
my next
See?
analogy.
Maybe
was
I should have been a
we
pastor.
are in if you go through a growth stage, it's going to hurt.
It hurts. It's painful.
It's called storming.
Yes, it is. Storming hard.
We're
We had a
going through
hurricane.
storming right now.
So I was there, and several other people were there, and family members of people on the board were there, and of both. I hate to say sides, but it's sides at this point. And
Polarity in politics?
yeah, it is very political. Oddly enough, these people all have the same general politics, which is pretty funny too. But anyway,
Right, in the broader scheme.
in the broader
Yes.
scheme of things, they all have pretty similar ideas. It's just different approaches. So people talked. I talked. I was pretty heated when I talked. And
No.
yes, when people are
Passionate.
yeah, I get my blood boils.
You're kind of the epitome of that meme of that little kitten, that's cartoon kitten. It's just
Come on, here I come. I forget that I'm 5'2", a lot. In my mind, I'm 6 foot tall. Seriously.
Never a truer statement.
Yeah.
Spoken on
In
K-ROG.
my mind, it's embarrassing when I stand next to a 6'5" person because I'm like, I forgot. Anyway, so it was very heated. And I will say that the city administrator and 2 of the aldermen took a lot of flack last night. And I think, if I'm remembering right, the 3 of them took probably the most flack from the different sides and opinions in this. And it was pretty nasty. I mean, it hurt. And I'm sitting in the back, and I'm listening to it happen. I talk. People go back and forth. People who should have had a right to talk uninterrupted didn't have that right, which was frustrating. And at the end, we're several hours into this. Chad brings up, and I'm going to announce 2 big things that happened last night that nobody knows about yet. So one thing that they had been working on as a group was getting a splash pad at the park in Rogersville. And I don't care who you are, our park is greatly dated and has been for a long time. So Chad, Alderwoman Gell, let's say Chad, Marjorie, and Crystal, that's going to be just easy for me to say, have been working along with other members of the board on a federal grant for a splash pad. The idea is that is going to happen, but we're waiting on the feds, which is slow, to say the least, right now. So we think this splash pad's going to get paid for by a federal grant. So that got brought up. And then Rogersville Friends of the Park presented an idea to the board back in the fall about removing the gravel from our playground, adding mulch, and putting a meandering concrete sidewalk around that playground area to create a walking trail, to get rid of the gravel that everybody notoriously does not like, to add mulch to that area, and it will completely change the aesthetic of the playground area. Okay, so Friends of the Park was kind of working on that project. The board was working on the splash pad project. Last night, after getting berated and asked to resign. Crystal 4 brings up this splash pad and makes a motion, and please don't quote me on this because I was heated and I'm not 100% sure that I got everything right. But she makes a motion to secure the funds for the splash pad, even if the grant doesn't come through, which I believe it's about a $90,000 splash pad. So she makes a motion to secure the funds in the event the grant doesn't go through. Chad clarifies a couple of things. Motion gets seconded by Marjorie, and I believe everyone on the board, which would be 3 people right now, vote yes. So at that point, the splash pad has been secured. And then, completely out of the blue, I'm kind of listening and kind of not at this point, I start hearing her talk about the sidewalk project at the park with the mulch, which we know is going to cost about $50,000. And she starts saying, I'd like to make a motion to secure the funds out of the, and this is coming from a stormwater and park tax that was passed several years ago by the voters. I make a motion to take $50,000 out of that fund and secure it for this park project. And Chad clarifies the one that we have a rendering of, and she says yes, because we just got the rendering last night. And Marjorie seconds the motion, and I believe, again, they vote, and all 3 vote yes, which would be Leon. That would be the 3rd. Guys, tears erupted from my eyes. I'm sitting there, and I'm going to cry again. Dadgummit.
Well, you've been working on this a long time.
This has been a long time coming. And our park is probably one of the things, because park projects are expensive, but they're not as expensive as taking sewer to 125, which is, hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million, whatever. We're talking, $50,000 to $100,000 projects. It's all about scale on these city deals.
Right.
Sure.
And I just started crying. I'm sitting there in the back of this room, and I'm like, oh my God, they did it. They did it. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it in that time where they just went through what they went through. They chose to do something that the community needed. And agree or disagree with what they've done.
Here's the thing.
It was incredible.
This has been, at least that I've known about it, it's been at least 2 years that we've been working or trying to work towards this. At first it was just getting mulch at the playground, getting the gravel out and getting mulch in. That was the first step. We thought that was an achievable goal that we could get, but this is one of those big goals that didn't think it was ever going to happen, to be quite honest. But it's really cool. And before people go, well, nobody hangs out over at the park or plays at the park. You're right. This is the reason, because there's nothing over there. And I think this is going to be huge.
This will change
this will change a lot of things.
It will change everything.
It's interesting that you talk about where people hang out and congregate and things like that, because I remember I was actually having this thought this morning as I walked from the studio down here to the coffee shop to get my coffee, which was nobody hung out here for years until
now
really
you're all
came
hanging
in,
out
Chris.
over here.
Now we're over here.
Yep. But the Klauses came in, bought the building, brought Story Church, Story Coffee in.
Mm-hmm. Now there's an insurance
And now-
agency, and there's soon to be a business where we're sitting right here.
And you should see the people that walk around this area every single day.
Yeah.
They're walking around. They're enjoying folks, if you build it, it's Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come.
Well, and let's say this, if you build it correctly.
Yes.
And I don't want to get too much into the politics, but I've been saying for the better part of the last 15 years that Rogersville is going to grow. And it's going to
whether we want
30 years.
That was brought up last night.
But for 15 years, I've said this. It's either going to grow and we're going to get run over with growth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or we're going to think through the process and prepare the way for growth. I think we're probably somewhere in between, but it's not too late to get it right.
Yep.
And it's hard. Look, I'm not going to cast stones because I don't go to all the meetings and I don't know all the intricacies of what the Board of Aldermen are doing.
It's complex.
It is. It's it's not as simple as running your home and family financial plan. It's way more intricate than that. And so we have to give a lot of grace and we have to kind of think through it. But we got to we've got to be thinking about progress, which I want to remind
Yes.
everybody, the root word of progressive is progress. Right? So
It's
Yeah.
an adjective.
This was an
Right.
issue that came
Pro-
up recently.
Progressivism, yes, it can be an ideology that many of us in this area
It's
want
a
to
code
avoid.
word for
Yeah.
communism.
It's like
Right.
Progresso soup
So
isn't communist
to
soup.
say that we want to be progressive
know.
or to progress does
Soccer's
not
the real
mean
problem.
shut your mouth. Speaking of, the Rogersville High School girls have their jamboree tonight at Catholic High School. So
Ooh, yay.
soccer season is starting, and I think we're going to be pretty good.
That's
But
exciting.
I digress. My point is, we
like a commercial.
must. I know we must progress in a way that will take this town and keep it awesome.
And
Yeah.
that was
and-
brought up.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can maintain its personality, and again, I grew up down the road in Republic. All right, I know you're booing and hissing and
We
jeering
are.
back, on
I like
at home,
Republic.
but
It's a nice town.
but no, it was
You
this.
repented, though.
I
so,
did.
yeah.
It was this size when I was a kid growing up, and I've watched it. I'm not saying we need to be Republic, but I promise you this: as different as it looks when you drive in, I still know all the people
Yeah.
that are on the board, the school board, the board of aldermen, and it's all the same names, and they've kept a lot of the same. I mean, the school spirit, and it's still Tiger Country,
Yeah.
But so this fear that we're going to lose everything because we're growing is just it's off base.
It's wrong.
Well, and there was it last week or the week before, the Facebook page, Rogersville Residents Uncensored, blew up. We had a bunch of political back and forth and all this kind of stuff. And one of the things that I kept seeing that just kind of popped up on there was how we don't want to become this or that, or we need to worry more about roads and infrastructure and things like that. The thing is that we have to strike a balance.
Yep.
We have to strike a balance. I know that there's a lot of people out there go, well, we don't need to beautify this place. Well, we do a little bit.
Yeah, we do.
There's a
Thank you, Ben Hunt.
Yeah, thanks,
thanks,
Ben.
Ben.
Apparently 100 other people thought so
yeah,
too
we
that
do
day.
need to beautify this place.
Yeah.
The takeaway for me from all of this is that the municipal court clearly is working great.
well, but I will make a political point in the sense of this. We have outside of our beautiful studio here, we have a sign as you enter into Rogersville
Mm-hmm.
that is the Jamestown sign. And I don't know how we get it beautified.
It looks like a nader hit it.
Even more.
$60,000 to $80,000.
I'm pretty
The
sure
question
next
is,
month
who
I'm going to be
is
taking
responsible for
next month I'm going to be taking up with the landlord.
It looks like
I
looks
don't know.
like-
the
looks
church
like
will not
somebody-
own that sign.
it looks like somebody pulled up on Highway 60 with a howitzer
Yeah,
and shot a hole through it.
it does. It looks
And-
like a war zone.
And
Yeah.
that is the first. It's like
It's the first thing.
it's the first thing that people see when they come into this town, and that is something that I would love to be able to go.
And I have been
Yeah.
on the phone with the Greene County Commission about that very issue. And so I am working to draft a letter. I'd love all the tenants of Jamestown, the HOA of the
I'll write a letter. Patriot Place.
Association,
Yep.
Patriot Place, yeah. And so I think, and then I'd love to get the city politicians on board with that letter too. But we have to figure out how to make that a priority.
So Greene
Gotta make it
County
right.
owns that sign?
It's interesting.
It's extremely gray.
Yeah. Does the city own it? Does the county own it?
I
It seems
think
to
they
be.
both say the other one does.
Yeah. So.
So what would it cost to put white panels in that sign?
I don't know.
Just the white ones.
Just the replacement of the panels would do
Just-
amazing work.
Yeah, they don't even have to have logos on them.
And I even threw that as an option. Is I will pay
Welcome
for
to
my
Rogersville.
panel to put my sign
Yeah.
up there.
Okay, this
if I don't
is-
have to pay a fee on top of it,
this
but I'll
is
pay
a
for my sign.
scenario
Mm-hmm.
where it's easier to ask forgiveness than get permission.
That's coming from a lawyer.
It is.
It is.
But I'm a kind of weird lawyer if
Yeah.
you haven't figured that out.
You could have
Yes, I
you could
figured
have stopped
that
with just
out.
weird. You
Yeah.
didn't even have to say lawyer.
That too.
I'm a kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm a kind of weird.
Weird Esquire.
Attorney at law.
So what else is going on?
Oh, I got one more. I got
we stirred that up.
I
We'll
got one
just
more
drop
thing.
it,
I got
leave
one
it.
more thing. We talked about growth. Okay, and so this is another important thing for people to know from the meeting last night. And this is what it ended on, I believe. Chief Paul, our chief of police, was there, as that he always is, or one of them are there during these meetings. And it was asked about if we've had some police officers resign, and we have, and we are struggling with competitive pay and benefits and time availability, I guess, with our police force in Rogersville. And this was a public meeting, and a couple of questions were asked of Chief Paul, what he needed to make it work. And I believe the board, specifically Marjorie and Crystal, had worked on some making it a little bit more flexible for police officers, and it apparently was not enough, and they still need support or some restructuring and added police officers. And my opinion is we're about to have 1,000 additional people on Center Street, and we're going to need more police sooner than later. And this was an interesting thing that was said. So Springfield's Police Academy used to have so many applicants, I think everybody couldn't do it.
Yeah.
This last 2 rounds, they had 0, 1 round.
I think they have 5 right now.
And they had, I don't know, they had 1, and Chief Paul confirmed this, and I could be wrong. They had like 1 applicant, and they decided to go ahead and do it, and they might have 5 right now or something.
Well, a full academy class would be like, I think they said 35.
Yes.
This is coming from a friend of mine who's at Springfield PD. And so he's like, Chris, we can't get people.
You can't get people to be police, and I don't blame
I wonder why.
Yeah, and let's tread lightly. But so this is a real problem across the country, and it is a very real problem in Rogersville. And our police need to be paid better, because we don't pay as good as some surrounding communities that are our size. I'm not comparing us to Springfield. I'm comparing us to others our size. So, and it was noted that they are out of room at City Hall, because currently our City Hall shares City Hall and the police and an ambulance bay. And I believe maybe they want another ambulance bay, and the police don't have a place to go.
Yeah, they really don't.
They don't.
They've got 1 room, Chief Paul's office, and the detective room. And
we have about 10 police officers, I think.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
And they let me hang my robe in the detective room.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm even sharing that.
So they're cramped.
Yeah. But again, this is what we're talking about when we speak of growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We are growing. And so, every organization that I'm a part of has to do some serious hard work in the area of strategic planning.
Yes.
And listen, I love to wing it. It's like my favorite mode to be in. But I found in life that when I'm always winging it, I'm always losing.
You got to have a Barry Retzloff.
That's right. Yeah.
Barry.
We love Barry.
Hey, Barry.
Hey,
Good work, Barry.
We love Barry.
But I mean, the reality is, it's a structure, it's a safety net, and it gives you the ability to grow healthy.
Yes.
Otherwise, you will grow. Cancer grows, and cancer grows fast.
Nasty.
And so you want to have a healthy structure in place, and I just think it's so important. And I'm not saying our city officials haven't done that. There's different views on how to do that, but we got to get on the same page, and we've got to have a plan for growth. And I hope, and that's been my prayer for Rogersville for the last 15 years, is that we will be united in that and come together and find some good solutions, because we are going to grow.
And that's what I said in my heated speech last night was, we're growing and we're not prepared. And I believe that. We're not prepared for the growth that's coming. And Southwest Missouri, guys, is from the realtor perspective, we are not prepared for the growth that's coming.
Well, and
people are migrating here.
One of the things that I think, Lauren, and you and I have talked about this before, is that Rogersville right now has some really talented people that are willing to get out and get their hands dirty and get to work on stuff.
Wait, you mean not just keyboard warriors?
That's right.
People that actually want to get their hands dirty?
These people are not sitting on their couches and exercising their thumbs. They are actually out there doing some work. And city organizations in town, you need to start utilizing those people, because if not, they're not going to sit around and wait for you. No. I'll just tell you that right now. And we've seen it a lot, especially in the last 2 years. You see a lot of people that have a lot of talent and a lot of pride in their town, and they're being underutilized, and they are going to go in a direction that you don't necessarily want them to grow. And that is where we're getting, I think, with the different city organizations and with the city in general. It's learning how to utilize people and make them feel, get rid of that, expel that energy.
Yeah. Instead of being insulted by somebody coming to you and saying, hey, we think there's a problem, let's come up with a solution. Don't be insulted by that.
Well, you know, it's a different leadership model, and Chris, you may struggle with it too. I don't know, but it's something I've warred against in the church world for 5 years, which is you get staff people or leaders that just want to get stuff done or just do stuff. Mm-hmm. And what you really need out of a leader is someone to recruit, train, and manage volunteers in churches. And I think cities, to some extent, are the same way.
Well, and I agree.
But
they've
got to let go of they've got to let go of vision a little bit.
So what happened? So I've always worked up until I planted Story Church. I'd always worked in larger, established churches. So there was a budget, there was staff, and so it's very easy just to say, "All right, we're doing this," or "Well, okay, which staff member's taking that project?" Mm-hmm. And so you overload, and so you may have a church of 1,000 people, many of which are capable of doing that very task, and some are even willing to do it.
And looking for a place to connect.
Yeah, and you hear it all the time. They're like, I want to help, but I don't know how to help. But now, when you start a church, you don't have staff and you don't have funding. So you have to find people who are willing to do it just because they love the church and love the vision. Yep. And it's been interesting over the last 4.5 years. I look and I go, whoa, there are all these people who are willing and they love the church. That's why they're here. They're like, oh, so my mentality shifted from we need to hire this to, all right, who's already present, who's willing to put in 5 hours a week or 2 hours a week or whatever to volunteer. But yeah, I think so. I mean, that's the corporate world, that's city government, that's church. We tend to think we have to throw money at something and hire somebody when no, there's capable people.
Yeah, and I think I think it would behoove the city, any city, to hire the staff that you need to manage the people that are willing to donate their time and talent.
Well, I think Lauren's a great example. Friends of the Park. I mean, countless hours. And
countless hours.
I know you don't want the attention on you, but you're a great example of in the city seeing an issue, saying we can do better for our community with a better park, and you just started doing stuff.
And I think the problem is in churches and cities and anywhere else like that, even other not-for-profit organizations, you can get into this jealousy turf war because you're more concerned about who's doing it, who's getting the credit, than you are about getting it done.
It's true.
You know, in the church world, you see it all the time. Because you get your focus off of the king, giving glory to God, which is the goal.
Right.
And you see people that say, well, that's my project, or I'm in charge, or I'm the staff person. And I think you run into the same thing in the city. Yeah. People feel like they're getting their toes stepped on instead of saying, hey, I think,
the greatest compliment I can get, and I honestly mean this now, when somebody comes to me as the pastor and says, you are wearing yourself out doing this. Can I do this for you? Yes, please. It used to be, when there's pride, you go, no, I got this. I got this. But now you go, please help me. I know that I'm taxed on the administrative side of things like that, so, but we have to learn to do that. Again, every organization is going to struggle with that.
So what would like to see the city hire is a volunteer coordinator.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's an interesting idea.
That would be
great staff person. And their job is just look for things that need to get done, find people
that are willing to do it, or find groups that are willing to pitch in and help, because there's a lot. Holy moly, I mean, Rogersville has a lot of organizations and entities working for better communities in different segments.
And I hope we're embarrassing him to death, but look at Ben Hunt. I mean, that's exactly
Ben, that guy.
He saw a problem.
He
didn't ask permission. He didn't ask permission. He just put it on the Facebook group. Hey, we're going to clean up trash. Yeah. Who's in?
And he had a good plan, and he executed it. That was what he did.
And no slight on city government or anything.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not. No. It's just a problem was created because of COVID, because the problem happened because inmates weren't there to pick up trash. Yep. That's what happened. And so a problem was recognized, a solution was presented, and 100 people showed up to participate.
Yep. Hey, and by the way, people come into Storytime Coffee Company all the time and say, those countertops, those live edge walnut countertops are gorgeous, right? First thing everybody says, Ben Hunt. He did those.
Oh, is that
right? He does timber framing.
He does custom timber frame, Walston timber framing. We'll give him a shout out. I know he's not a sponsor yet.
He could be.
Yeah. But we'll, for all his hard work, we can give his business a shout out.
Speaking of sponsors, I love my Sportsland pickup cover.
Oh.
My swing cases.
Sportsland pickup cover. Actually,
Sportsland pickup covers.
A buddy of mine this weekend at Hillbilly Olympics that we have up in
That's right. I forgot you were doing
Rolla. We were sitting there talking, and he deals in like car parts and stuff like that. And he was like, "Oh, Rogersville, that's where Sportland's at."
Yeah,
That's
I was
awesome.
like, yeah.
We're
It's a
on the
big
map,
deal.
folks.
Yeah.
Hey, we're nationwide.
Nationwide.
Yep, lots of good stuff coming out of there. Hey, somebody asked me the other day, and I don't know, the EDI building down there, what is that?
They make, I'm going to butcher this, they make specific race car parts.
Ooh, snazzy.
A very specific aspect.
It's a high end
Pistons?
Yeah.
I want to say pistons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's if you know again going back to
Yeah.
Sportsland. I mean, if you know Steve Brawyer, you know,
Right.
he's an innovator and
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny all the rumors that went out about that place when it was being built.
Really?
I heard they're doing spaceships in there. Yeah. I heard it. I heard they're growing the marijuana.
It's a Walgreens dollar store.
I'll have one of them Pistons for $1.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
high end.
So,
yeah, it's a
Great.
very niche.
Yes.
Product
Yeah.
that they're putting out there.
Okay.
It's a beautiful building. It looks
It's
very nice in
cool.
the corner there.
I drive
been-
by it every day.
The tour. I
Maybe
got
they
to
could be a
take.
sponsor.
Yeah, I got to take a tour because.
Yeah, I don't. It'd be awesome, but I don't think we're reaching their market.
Yeah. If you like big machinery though, it's like taking the tour. You're going, oh my goodness, this can do what? You know, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's
Do you think they could make a thing
Amazing.
that goes on the bottom like
Oh
coffee cup
my
that I could
gosh.
screw the lid in?
This guy.
Who
They
is
could.
this? Who is this?
Hey,
guy?
Who's this guy?
Will-
I'm the station
Yeah.
manager. Thank
Will,
you.
you've got too many ideas right now
I'm the
that
keymaster.
you need to get taken care of
I know.
before you worry about that one.
JR, my brother, said he's enjoying the combo this morning, and thumbs up to Ben Hunt. JR helped pick up trash.
show you-
too,
let me show you
along with
something,
the 100
Lauren.
People. What are you gonna show
Since
me?
you're sitting in front of the computer, if you
Oh,
find
no,
the
I don't wanna-
mouse, no, and you right over here, and you click on
Click.
this, add to broadcast.
Oh, look at
Yes, I
that.
love
It
technology.
puts the comment so that our viewers can
Yes, I
enjoy
love
the comment as well.
technology. That's all I can quote.
Not
After
as
Tom
much as
got
you
it.
can see.
There we go.
There you go.
I got you a delicious bass.
Thanks, Deb.
And that's the extra scene at the end, isn't
That's
it?
cool.
That's
Now I
not
know
even
that.
in the original. That's not even in the
I love
actual
technology.
movie.
I love
Yeah,
Napoleon
yeah.
Dynamite.
The wedding
love
scene.
it.
Oh, the
Oh
wedding
my
scene. Yeah, the wedding
gosh.
scene.
I love it. I love it when the old man shoots the cow. That is my favorite part of the movie.
You know, it took me watching about 2 or 3 times to realize that he gave them just raw eggs to drink.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you? in
That
the
that's
hot,
actually my favorite scene.
the
The
chicken
Shoshone
skin-
Arrowhead.
I thought for a while I thought it was like orange juice.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then
it's
I'm like,
egg yolks
oh, that's egg.
That's what I used to drink in the mornings before I'd go run.
in the
was-
hot. Oh. And if you've ever been by a poultry farm,
Mm.
I have
big
3.
one.
I just have 3 chickens. And
You mean
I
like
get
you
it.
mean like John Pope's Ranch?
yes,
You've
his
ever been by a
epic
ranch,
ranch,
chicken ranch,
I'd
chicken
love.
farm.
I think if I ever
farm? You called it a farm. It's a
Chicken
ranch.
It's a ranch.
John Pope is a rancher.
If you grow crops, it's a farm. If you have livestock, it's a ranch.
I would
ranch.
love to have like a progressive jazz band and call it Uncle Rico's Steak.
Yeah.
That would be a really good name for that band.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
Uncle
I can
Rico's
throw this
steak.
football over that mountain. I quoted it wrong.
Back
But
in 1986, I could throw this football over that mountain.
Should have been state champs.
Steak. Steak champs.
State champs.
Champs. I need a steak right now. That kind of sounds good.
Oh, that does sound good. I could go for some steak and eggs right about now.
Yes.
Everyone needs
Too bad
to
we don't
go
have
out.
a diner here in this town.
I know. I was
Come
getting ready
on.
to say that.
Lauren Brook.
Oh, okay.
And if we prepare the way by a good city plan, I bet a diner will want to come
Just
to town.
squeeze
You
right
know
in
what?
there.
Am I cooking Thursday?
That's the
Am
plan.
I making breakfast?
Yes.
Okay. What am I making?
Steak and eggs.
Well, okay. I think Barry's bringing eggs and bacon.
What?
Didn't he said he was going to bring?
That's what he said. I would read.
and I will cook them, but I'm going to bring potatoes because
This
I
is coffee
love-
at the post, by the way,
taters.
y'all. This
Yeah.
is a networking meeting with no agenda.
This is going to be the inaugural
It's-
Blackstone cooking at Coffee at the Post.
Yeah. Now
What?
I don't know if Kix is coming or not because
I don't know. I'll ask
we
him.
both Kix and I both have the small portable 17-inch Blackstones, and so that's what I'll bring mine.
We're gonna cook outside because I don't want my place to smell like bacon.
Oh no.
That seems
We yeah, I'll put it on. I'll put it on the
That means
tailgate
I
of the
gotta
truck.
get up.
Okay.
Because you don't bring
5 a.m. in
propane
the
inside
morning.
anyway.
Oh, they're propane. Yeah, no, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, no, they're hooked up to a propane
That makes
tank.
more sense.
So we'll be
you
cooking
can't cook propane inside?
You're not,
You're not
well,
supposed to. Anything with.
actually,
Sorry, Tom.
Wow.
We doubted your intelligence there.
Hey,
for a
Rich
second.
Sturts, could you help Tom? Could you answer in the comments section?
There's another comment.
He's laughing at
We have
us.
laughing
I'm sure that
faces.
was the diner comment.
Oh, hey, John Wilson.
I will contribute some way, either biscuits. I'll probably bake biscuits.
Okay.
Gosh, I got
Hey,
up
guys, here's
early.
my
Ugh.
commitment for Thursday. I'm going to show up and eat whatever you cook.
Okay.
I'll make biscuits and bring jelly and honey.
Well, so the night before I'll have to prepare the potatoes for hash browns.
Those are hand cut, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that old
They
donut.
are.
I gotta get up and prepare the potatoes.
I was
I could
thinking,
do- I
I was
may do
thinking
it
of the
that-
old Dunkin' Donut.
Yeah. I may
Get
do
the
that in the
donuts.
morning because I like them to be fresh cut.
Fresh
Wow.
cut taters.
I have a mandolin. Actually, I have 2
Oh
mandolins.
God, I'm so scared of those.
Are
I
you-
almost cut my finger off.
Yeah,
on a
no,
mandolin
mine's got a
one
little
time.
guard on it.
Yeah, I didn't use the guard.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a musical instrument.
Well, I have
No.
both.
Okay.
I have
A
both.
slicer mandolin.
I thought you were gonna play the mandolin while you were slicing
Yeah, it
potatoes.
does
I-
hurt your,
He can
it hurts
do
your
that.
fingers. When
I
you're-
can do both.
He can do that.
How's he
Weird-
gonna do
Speaking of a
that?
weird lawyer, he can do that.
I can do that.
I like
Will-
to sing to my potatoes.
Will has
before I have them.
concocted a holder that holds the potato while he's mandolining.
No, I was slicing with the mandolin one time, and I was home alone, and I don't recommend using those alone.
Yeah.
And I did not use the guard, and I took a crinkle cut out of my finger and darn near passed out.
That hurts. Just
It
thinking
hurt
about
so bad.
I just
Crinkle cut. I got a little extra in my fries.
I'm a little terrified of that ever happening, which is why I have this thing.
Oh,
I
It's terrifying when
yeah.
it does.
I'm sure it is, but I don't want that to happen. But
I literally called my mom and laid down on the floor.
Mom, I crinkle cut my finger,
My finger's bleeding.
I'm gonna pass out.
and I hit me
It's real
shin.
bad.
And I hit me shin on the way over.
On the way down to hit my shin. I'm bleeding out on the floor.
every time Lauren gets hurt, she turns Irish.
I go Irish. Tell my mother I love her. Jessie and the girls. Oh my God.
Well, tomorrow you can do that, and it'll be totally
That's
cool.
right.
Happy
It's St.
Yes.
Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
wow.
Well, have we?
I don't know.
Have we destroyed enough today?
I think we've destroyed enough brain cells for today.
Wow.
Well,
Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more K-ROG later.
We love you.
Bye.